Where are the low-value men?
The hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site. If you can believe that, you can believe that, you can believe that.
Contracted COVID, but says with a mixture of medicines, including the controversial horse dewormer that has poisoned hundreds of people nationwide, he's now recovered.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
From the headlines to the whisper start. Low value mail. Low value mail at 9 o'clock. Where truth and fiction take a walk.
Why don't you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon? You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
Our stories are.
Welcome back, Scroats, to an all-new episode of Low Value Mail on this Monday, July 28th, 2025, the year of our Lord. It's episode number 155. We're joined at the top of the second hour with our guest, Maryam Henein. Maryam is the author of Operation George Floyd, a multi-layered psyop exposed, and will be joining me in the second hour. And I am certainly excited to speak with her about that. Yes, it's 7 o'clock. This is the new time for Low Value Mail. It just works a lot better with my schedule, as mentioned. It doesn't seem to affect the show at all. So this is what it is. And if you don't like it, suck it. If you want to support the show, drop a super chat, sign up to the YouTube channel, or patreon.com/lowvaluemail, M-A-I-L. A little sad news regarding the show, unfortunately. Our beloved producer, Mark's last show will be tonight. That is, you heard that correctly. Unfortunately, he can't make it work with his schedule any longer. And he's been doing his best, but it's unfortunately not, it's not jiving with his schedule because, he has a podcast himself. And so it's not working out. He has done an absolutely amazing job, wrangling all you retards, and did an incredible job booking the show, taking calls, and he will be missed, but this is his last show tonight. So when you call in, and phone lines will be open in about 25 minutes, when you call in, give him your regards, give him your retards, would be more accurate. All right, let's get to the show. I know. Bummer news. We'll have, someone said rip Mark Slav. No, he's alive. He's too busy. He's got his own stuff. So it's just a good problem to have, if you will. And we'll have a new producer. It looks like, should I let you know who the new producer is? Because I already found one. I found a replacement, and it is one of the OG Scroats. It is an OG Scroat. I'm going to save it for next week. I'm going to save a big reveal, but an OG Scroat has taken over. I pulled from the ranks of the Scroats, and I'm pretty excited about it. All right, let's get to the show. The T-App. I don't know how much you guys have heard about this. Pretty funny fucking story. Great story. Great story. Being a low-value male myself, this topic was very close to my heart. Plus, I just can't talk about Trump anymore. We're going to talk about Trump for the fucking 8th week in a row? Are we? Can't do it. So, for those of unaware what I'm talking about, this week it was revealed the T-App suffered a data breach, leaking tens of thousands, is 72,000 to be accurate, user pictures and driver's licenses in some instances, and locations as well. Now, if you don't know what the T-App is, it's a app for women. It's purported to be a dating safety tool for women, similar to the Facebook group, which I've spoken about before, the Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook group, which went pretty viral. It started off as, I believe, a New York City thing, but then it spread everywhere. And I know guys who have been like, I'm in the app. It's a complete, it's a witch hunt. It's what it is. right? But so it's similar to that. And look, I understand why women would want an app like this for their safety, because, there are a lot of creeps. I'm looking at pretty much all of you guys, except for the married ones, which you were probably formerly a creep, right? But there are a lot of creeps, and women are clearly physically disadvantaged to men. Obviously, they can be. This all comes from the fact that a woman could be overpowered, right? That's kind of the big issue with all of this, is that there's a physical imbalance. Otherwise, and guys, if you're dating a woman and there's not one, unless that's your kink, what are you doing? Get to the gym, okay? Now, the app is really, because while they say it's for, a dating safety tool, it is really just a quasi-social credit system for men that is mostly just women gossiping, which is in their nature to do. Right? We know it's their nature to do, and they're doing it. It's similar to the "are we dating the same guy?" Yes. Sometimes someone will be like, yeah, this guy was like, I said I didn't like him, and then I was just like, it was nice meeting you, but I don't see anything here. And then the next day he was staring through my window. Good information for women to have. These guys you do want to avoid. That is maybe 1% of what's going on here, okay? It is mostly just gossiping. Also, the T app, transphobic, I would like to add, very transphobic, as shortly before the show tonight, I tried to open an account while wearing one of the wigs that we have here at the studio for our sketches, but apparently you have to be a passing trans woman to open an account, because there is this like photo verification thing similar to like a lot of, like banking and shit like that. And I guess what's going to be going on in the UK now, which we will talk about as well. But so very problematic app, because you cannot just be a bearded chick, dude, like a trans woman that looks like me with a wig. You have to be passing, which that seems problematic. The T app also billed itself as, safe for women, secure. However, they had a public directory for some reason. Now, I'm not an app guy. I don't know how to. I'm not a huge. I like computers, I guess. I'm not a crazy, like in the weeds kind of tech guy. But from the sounds of it, they just had a public directory. So everybody's like, the T app got hacked. They didn't get hacked. There was a public directory that they just kept all these verification photos in, 72,000 photos. Again, photos, driver's licenses, location data. Apparently they're like, that was like from an old version of the app. They're like, we don't do that, because they say when you sign up, we destroy the photo. So this is from an old version of the app, when they just left them lying around accidentally. And someone went snooping around and found the photos. They found all the photos. Would not a good look. Then someone on 4chan, this all started on 4chan, of course, went and took the 72,000 photos and made a PvP, aka player versus player, website where you can rank each woman, which is both hilarious and kind of shitty at the same time. But I don't know. It's probably equal parts shitty and hilarious, because, a lot of these women are pretty unfortunate looking. There's some decent ones on there. You can go, the website is tspill.fun. Go play the game. Get those rankings in. They're not like you see like on Twitter, you're like, oh, these chicks were all gross. And you're like, no, they're not all gross. But I mean, you'd feel if you're the woman who's number one right now, you'd be like, fuck, I feel I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good if I'm number one. But if you're number like 72,000, you're like, probably doesn't feel so good. But this is the ultimate battle of the femoids versus the incels. It really is. They're going head to head, butting heads. The moids, the femoids versus the incels. And if only there was a way for these femoids and incels to somehow meet in person, maybe some of them could, make some kind of relationship. Now, I know the incels, their whole thing is they're like, no, we only want 10s when they're 2s. But, maybe there could be a love story coming out of this. You never know. But it's not going to happen. Now, I will say, a lot of guys complaining about this app. Women are free to have an app like this. I'm not against it existing, nor am I shocked that it's mostly just devolved into gossip and complaints about guys that have zero to do with actual safety. I'm not a surprised man right now. But the fact is that attractive women are hugely advantaged on dating apps, as many of the scrotes watching can attest to. Guys as well. There's if you guys know the Pareto principle from economics, generally it's like an 80-20 kind of 90-10 rule deal. It's like, the top 10% kill it. Everybody else, it's a slog, right? Like a reasonably attractive woman will get absolutely endless matches. You don't even, we're talking like a 6. Endless matches on an app. While a good-looking guy who might be maybe below average height might get 0. Life is unfair. It is what it is. Life is not fair. Men, go achieve status. Women do not care about anything else, okay? They care about status. Get status. Whether that's a job or money, usually those are tied together. Something with a uniform is good. Whatever it is, that's where you should be. If you're unable to find a mate, that is what you should be doing. Now, I will say, an app like this will not benefit these women in any way. Like, they think this is some kind of thing where they're like, oh, this is helping us. Absolutely not. Maybe the top 5% of them, maybe it's useful for them. The rest, this is actually doing them a disservice, in my opinion, because the dating market is very similar to any other market. This is Econ 101. Everyone has a clearing price, okay? Obviously, it's not perfectly efficient. Sometimes, like you would think in a perfectly efficient, someone's calling, the phone lines are not open, right? But you would think in a perfectly efficient market, 6s would match up with 6s, 10s with 10s, 1s with 1s. I don't know what a 1 is, but you know what I mean, right? But it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes 10s end up with 6s and 6s snag 10s. It's a crazy world out there, right? But the thing is that what I'm saying is that anyone unable to find someone, and I'm sure some of you are like, I can't find anybody, right? I can't find anybody, man or woman. All you need to do is keep settling incrementally, and eventually you will find a match, right? Like if you're like, hey, I want a 7. I'm a guy and I'm not crazy, but I just think I'm worthy of dating a girl who's a 7. And you only swipe on 7s and you get 0 matches. Guess what? The market is telling you, you are incorrect. Try a 6.5. If 6.5 doesn't work, go to a 6. I promise you, eventually you will be rolling in it. You'll be rolling in 2s. Not great, but it's something. But you're also the problem, and women do this way more than men, in my opinion, but men do this as well, where they completely, and this is, a human thing, where they just completely misjudge their standing in this kind of thing. Women are the obvious, where they're just like, yeah, I'm a 10. You're like, you're 350 pounds. You're not a 10. You're 10 stone, maybe. You're not a 10, right? But here's the thing. These women don't want to settle. They should. Eventually, everyone should, if things aren't working out for you, guy or girl. Like if that is your goal, to meet somebody and maybe start a family and have somebody to be with and grow old with, blah, 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 then you need to settle, okay? That's just common sense, really. It is just basic common sense. You're aiming too high, right? But these women are on the app specifically, and these women are on the app specifically because they haven't found someone, right? That's why they're there. If they had someone, they wouldn't need this app. Maybe there are some married women who are just on there because it's just a fun time to be catty and gossipy. But for the most part, most of these women haven't found someone. They are looking for someone. And they're using this as some kind of, vetting process. But the thing is that the people they have found in the past didn't work out for one reason or another, which they go on to leave what I imagine are mostly negative reviews of these guys, thereby decreasing their options even further, right? Because they're all, essentially, all these guys are part of this pool. Like if you're ranked on this website as a guy, then you're in that pool. And I can't imagine there's a lot of positive reviews. So they're just like, hey, we're just going to cut out a chunk of eligible guys, probably for pretty frivolous reasons a lot of the time, right? And don't forget, there's two sides to every story, right? A woman might say a guy was rude to her, but she might have been a huge pain in the ass, or she might have been rude herself, but the review would never tell that story. All they would say is, this guy's rude. And then maybe another person says, this guy's rude, and that's it. He's a rude boy. Nobody's interested. And he's been removed from the dating pool, at least for women who use this T app. He's removed. And, you know, again, if guys get enough bad reviews and this app reaches some kind of critical mass, then the pool of available men will only decrease with the supply of women remaining constant, which if you know anything about economics, that is not good. This means an app like this will only exacerbate the issue for the bottom 20% of women, almost ensuring they die alone, lest they start fishing around in the T-app bargain bin. Right? Now, none of them ever want to hear this. This is obviously a bitter pill to swallow when you tell people you just got to settle for whoever is willing to just stick their dick in you. Right? Nobody wants to hear that. Guys don't want to hear the equivalent thing either. You go, you are gross and you live with your parents and you're 50. Take anything. Right? And it is, you got to admit, because a lot of these chicks, they look like the type of women who are into true crime. You know, women, bitches be loving true crime. Murderers, you could be a murderer, a convicted murderer. You could be an accused murderer, a heinous crime. And you could maybe multiple murders. These guys will receive love letters from women. But if you ask to split a bill on a date, it goes on your dating record for life? Make this make sense to me, please. It is funny how an app like this could never exist for men, because really all men care about is just, what does she look like? And I'll figure the rest out. Oh, yeah. Oh, she's crazy? Yeah, they all are. What does she look like? That's all guys care about. Just go, let's see a photo. Ideally, not some super high angle. Ideally, not too much makeup. Can we get a body shot in there? Nothing from fucking, no Goodyear blimp photos. And I didn't mean she looks like the Goodyear blimp. I mean from the Goodyear blimp. None of that. Just let's see a photo. That's it. That's all guys care about. Though they can mostly figure the rest out. Most guys can literally go, I can manage with a lot of other stuff. Just what does she look like? Right? And even if men did decide to make an app like this, reviewing women with things like, oh, she's crazy. She looks nothing like she does with all that makeup, or you're in for a big surprise when you see her naked, it would be considered toxic and decidedly negative. But when women do it, it's just for safety. It's just for safety. That's the thing. There could be an app like this for men, and it's some hot chick, and literally 100 reviews being like, oh, excuse me. I got something caught in my throat. It could literally be like, she's crazy. She tried to light my house on fire. She kicked my dog. She cut my brakes. And if she's hot, guys are just like, cool. Still try her out. It's worth a try. It's worth a try. I can fix her. Anyways, I'm going to try and get on this T app, though. I don't like that it's transphobic like that. I know I'm not the sexiest woman. I realize that. I'm not the sexiest woman, okay? But I've seen worse. I live in New York City. I've literally, believe it or not, seen less attractive women than this. Isn't that crazy? What a world we live in. What a world we live in. All right, I'm going to talk about the UK Online Safety Act briefly, and then we're going to open up the phone lines. And we can talk about whatever you want. Whatever you want. 30 minutes open lines. The Brits are up to it again. I don't know how many of you are British. I know, being that this is an earlier time right now, the Brits can watch now. I don't know if you're legally allowed to. I don't know if you have to do some sort of identity verification to watch low-value mail. I sure hope not. But it sounds like they're really cracking down on the internet, all under the guise of protecting kids, right? That's how they always get you, too. That's how they always get you. They go, we're protecting kids. And you go, I have some problems with this bill. And you go, oh, you hate kids? You don't want to protect kids? You go, no. I do want to protect kids, but there's some concerning language in your bill. You go, you hate kids. Essentially, the bill is the act or whatever is they're like, yeah, it's so, kids can't watch porn and don't suicide themselves and get, develop bulimia or whatever. Which is weird because the other way is fine. They're not going to be policing fucking mukbangs where you go gain 500 pounds. You go, no, that's fine. Which again, on its face, it's not a bad thing. You go, sure, this is good. It's good news for VPN companies, as they've seen, I believe, an 1,800% surge in search traffic for people in the UK wanting to sign up for VPNs. Except they're now opening up the possibility of banning VPNs if they're too effective in bypassing these age restrictions. Banning VPNs. Now, look, I'm not a parent. I don't play a parent on TV. I'm not a parent, right? But aren't there ways to limit what sites are accessible to kids, like via Wi-Fi settings and browser settings, stuff like that? I believe there are. I believe a lot of this is because parents are they're like, yeah, I can't parent my kids. Can the UK government do it for me, please? And here's the thing. Everybody knows this. Teenagers are generally some of the most tech-savvy people. You think you're going to stop them from doing anything? Do people not remember being a teenager? If I was 15 right now and the government was like, yeah, you can't get porn, I'll be like, just watch me. Just watch me, which they probably are watching you. But I'll be like, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I get porn or not, okay? What, you're going to make me fucking... You can go back to old school where there's just some kid at your school, and he just has a 10 terabyte hard drive of porn. He literally just scraped the entire internet, took everything, and and everybody loves him at school. And you just go get your porn. Is that what they're going to make you do? You got to go back to that where you actually download it? They'll do it. If you think that, especially someone who is like not getting, not sexually developing yet, a man, like if you think there's like a 16-year-old who's had porn for probably like 3 years and you're just taking that away all of a sudden, good luck with that. Good luck with that. I asked Grok, what countries ban VPNs currently? And it's literally all the ones you think. China, North Korea, Iraq, Iran, Russia, Pakistan, and a bunch of other shithole countries. That's who you're getting in bed with here, UK. I hope you're happy. And the funny thing is, Grok gives you it says why bans occur. Countries typically ban or restrict VPNs to control information access, limit freedom of speech, monitor citizens, or prevent bypassing censorship, e.g. China's Great Firewall, Iran's restrictions on Western media. Now, people are completely naive to think this won't be misused. I saw an interview with some UK parliamentarian or whatever. Essentially, one of the things that's restricted is criticizing mass immigration. Is that a big thing teenagers do? I'm very out of touch. Is that what the teens are into? Criticizing mass immigration? Yeah, these teens, they really hate mass immigration. That's what I know about teens. Just not big fans of unlimited mass immigration. That's going to be applied, obviously, to regular people. And it's not going to be applied in a fair way. We all know it's just going to be these broad strokes here. Like, I mean, we saw all the people who went to jail over posting memes. What was that, 3 months ago? Literally, like, someone got 3 years in jail for a meme, for a Facebook post. And then another part of the act is literally, they go, a part of the act is meant to tackle misinformation and disinformation. Like, that is the vaguest shit. And again, obvious question, who defines what misinformation and disinformation are? Do you want to do what they tried in the US with the misinformation czar, which was widely panned because it was absolutely insane? I mean, I recall saying that COVID leaked from the lab was considered misinformation. That was, and again, who says that? They go, the government says it, and then they tell the social media, and the social media go, well, your account's banned. Can't say that. Can't see how this will get mismanaged. Literally, the last people I would want in charge of something like this is a political party, regardless of the side. Maybe they could do something where they're like, we're going to get some sort of unbiased council, that's like fully representative. Similar to what Facebook said they were going to do. I don't know how Facebook's one worked out. Because I remember Facebook, like during 2020, 2021, they're like, we're going to get this council of, they don't work at Meta. They're like professors and all, different people. And they'll kind of be the arbiters of these big cases. But again, maybe if you're like some high profile person getting popped for this, if you're a regular person, you're just like, hey, I can't get a job. There's too many immigrants. And they go, all right, you just lost your Twitter account. So anyways, if you live in the UK, sadly, you are cooked. And with that, the phone lines are now open, everybody. 1-888-949-2969. Say hi to Mark. Drunk Banana says, Butts what's? Dylan Farnham says, I tried to do a face swap pic of myself with Janet Reno, and it literally changed nothing. Not a joke. Janet Reno, that was a handsome woman right there. Handsome woman. Not a looker. Not a looker she was. But, probably your average T-app user looks like Janet Reno. There were some rough ones on there. Oh, boy. I honestly feel bad for them. Mark says, LOL, this is bullshit. No one will use that app for more than 3 months. I don't know, Mark. That Facebook group, Are We Dating the Same Guy, is very fucking popular. All right, before I get to it, and we're going to be joined by Maryam Henein in about 30 minutes talking about Operation George Floyd, a multi-layered psyop exposed. Like and subscribe to the channel, please. Please subscribe to the channel if you don't. I want to get to 10K. I'm at like 8,800. Get me 1,200 more subscribers. Come on, what are we doing here? If you're an audio listener, make sure to follow the podcast, leave a review on Spotify, Apple, whatever. Share the podcast. Twitter, I know you guys are all on Twitter, Instagram. Just give it a share. Doesn't hurt. Also, if you enjoy the show, and tag me, I'll even repost them. If you enjoy the show and you want me to keep doing it, tell a friend or sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/lowvalue, MAIL. And of course, if we hit the super chat goal, we'll do an extra 30 minutes. And once I hit 500 subscribers, which will be never probably, or maybe in like 7 years, I'm going to give away $500, which in today's money is like $60. So inflation's a bitch. All right. Let's take some calls. Phone lines are open. 1-888-949-2969. Caller number 1. Please unmute yourself promptly. Hello, you're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, did you know they found out Jack the Ripper was Jewish?
I did not know that I did not know that they found
talked about it. And Polish also, which is connection to you.
I'm not Polish, but he was a Polish Jew?
No, but Polish in the name.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, Polish Jewish immigrant. They found the shawl of one of his victims and checked the DNA matches. And when he got put in an asylum, the attack stopped. They heard about it on Lotus Eater podcast.
When did this happen?
Podcast. Well, they talked about it on the show last week.
I see that. I see a thing from 11 years ago. DNA evidence suggests that Jack the Ripper was a Polish Jew named Aaron Kamiński. Interesting. Oh,
weird. I didn't know that was that long ago. I only saw the video discussing it last week. But we're always talking about the Jews on the podcast, so I thought it.
Interesting. I did not know that. kind of sounds, yeah, it says Jack the Ripper identity revealed as a 23-year-old Jewish Polish immigrant. A Finnish molecular biologist and self-described armchair detective claimed to have identified Jack the Ripper. According to a report in the Mail, the Jewish Polish immigrant was the killer. He lived in the East End. The claims are based on DNA analysis of a stained shawl purportedly belonging to Catherine Edo's, one of the victims. How could he link it to an actual guy? How do they have Kaminsky's DNA? Oh, the DNA match was to a descendant of Kaminsky's sister, with one strand showing a 99.2% match. Interesting.
That's how they usually do it. On true crime shows, it's always, well, we waited a few decades and we put it into 23andMe and we found a match.
Yeah, we found a match. Yeah, I mean, that's how they've been popping all the cold case serial murderers recently. That's the thing. It's like the era of being a serial murderer is literally over. You cannot be a serial killer anymore. They're going to catch you 100%.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything else, or is you just want to let me know that?
No, that was the only thing I thought I was to say.
Cool. Well, good to know.
It was great talking to you.
Cool.
Feels like I'm talking to a famous person.
You're not. You're not. But it's good to. Is this your first time calling?
Yes.
Excellent. I love first time callers. If you've never called in before, call in. I want to talk to you. Thanks for calling in. Wait a minute. First time caller. Come on, let's get more first timers. Shout out to Jack the Ripper. I'm going to put him on my list of Jews. You know what's something funny? Is I have that list of that sketch I made, list of Jews thing, the guy who likes to research how many Jews are in things. I think I've said this before. There's nobody who likes knowing about Jews and things more than Jews. Jews, like my dad literally sent me this just random YouTube video the other day, and it was straight up like, here are all the richest Jews in the world, and it's not who you think. And like Jews do the exact same thing that like Leather Apron Club does, where it's literally like, if a guy's half Jewish, they put him on the list. And my dad sent me this, and the first thing I did was go to the comment section because I was like, is this like pro or against? Like, I didn't even know. I was like, I don't know if, my dad's 77 years old. I was like, is this like, did he find a video on the internet? And he goes, oh, great, a list of rich Jews. And then I was like, I don't know if this is a positive or a negative thing, but it's like the old school where it's like the positive one. But then it's just, I mean, I was laughing my ass off. I was literally like, yo, this is like my guy. This is literally my guy. All right. Let's take another call here. There are Jews in things. We're going to go to Jimmy. Jimmy, what's up, man?
What's going on?
How's it going?
Nothing much. What's up with you?
I'm hosting a show right now.
Yeah, I noticed.
Doing well.
I just want to say with the WNBA thing last week and the TF thing this week, do you think the women are in Indian-style PR crisis right now, an Indian-style internet PR crisis?
What do you mean? What do you mean an Indian-style? Elaborate on that.
Maybe I have a unique algorithm, but it's just constantly like videos of from India of them, I don't know, cooking up hot dogs with cow poop or whatever, stuff like that.
I have a similar algorithm. I'm not going to lie. I have delved into the Indian street food algorithm. It's really easy. I will say this because like sometimes you'll be like, yeah, have you seen like my whole algorithm? I'll be like, have you seen this stuff? And people will be like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So, that might be localized to you. I mean, other people maybe in the chat could tell us if their whole algorithm is also Indian street food. But I have gotten into the funny thing is if you look at the Indian street food stuff, a lot of times there'll be Indians in there and they're like, this isn't even in India. They're like, this is in Sri Lanka or like Bangladesh or something, right? So they're very much like how every group does this where anything negative, they go like, no, this is not us. Like, we are not some monolith of all brown people. They're like, we're Indian. We don't do this. Those are Bangladeshis. They're scum. They are scum of the earth. But they're like, they're not Indian, which is funny.
Yeah.
Because obviously we don't know the fucking difference. But yes, I have seen that. But no, I don't know what you mean by like Indian PR. I think that's just your algorithm. No.
I do.
Yeah, there you go.
I
Slav
do.
says my whole algorithm is Hitler and kittens and puppies. So just depends.
It's the best algorithm.
So yeah, depends what it is. Can't go wrong with dogs in the algo. Can't go wrong. No. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so no. Anything else?
Yeah, just shout out independent learning on Spotify. That's all I've got, man. Hope you have a good day.
Cool, buddy. Take care. Check it out. Mark says Indian food already looks so much like brown soupy shit. I wouldn't be surprised if they cut it with actual. Indian food's amazing. I don't know what this people shitting on Indian food for. It's incredible. Hello.
Yo,
what's up?
Danny.
How are you?
So I live in Traverse City, Michigan.
Traverse City, where? You got a bad connection there.
Michigan.
I cannot hear you at all.
Here.
See if you can move to a different.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Michigan, Traverse City, Michigan.
Yes. And Dan Bongino said something about Traverse City because we just had a stabbing. In our Walmart.
That was the one where that black Marine was like. Was
that?
Yeah. Crazy. What did Dan Bongino say about the stabbing? Just kind of normal FBI talk, kind of like.
Yeah, he just said he was going to send the FBI up here to figure it all out.
Yeah.
But
why is there some kind of underlying conspiracy here? I mean, this notion that in a country of 360 million people, like nothing's supposed to ever happen bad. Like there's a lot of people. Some shit's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was just a homeless guy that went crazy here.
Hey, happens all the time. I mean, maybe the stabbing tons of people isn't the most common thing, but I mean, that shit happens in a large enough sample size. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't happen in like a small town. How big is Traverse City?
Well,
I mean, you guys have a Walmart.
It's not that. It's not huge. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's under 1 million people.
That's not small. That's such an American thing. I guess maybe for India, that's a small city. That's like.
Let me look it up.
I mean, Canada only has 5 cities over 1 million people, I believe, or maybe 6 now. Like that's pretty.
There's no.
It's pretty
15,000 people.
Oh, okay.
It's not even close.
Wait, you live in a city of 15,000 people, and you thought that your city might be 1 million people?
No, I said it's under 1 million.
Well, yeah, but you're like you were so far off. What do you have, like fucking one tiny downtown? And you're like, yeah, I don't know. There's probably like around 800K, maybe just shy of 1 million.
Dude. All right. Yeah.
But anyway, so is there some conspiracy angle to this, or is this just some crazy guy?
Dude, it's some crazy guy. The thing is Traverse City is one of them really like liberal cities where a bunch of homeless people have been like camping out here thinking it's cool, and finally they decided to move them, but they've just moved them closer to Myers, so obviously to Walmart there. I mean,
gotcha.
Myers, a Michigan thing.
Yeah. I mean, look, I mean, that's probably a pretty common thing where, you know, liberal cities are probably just generally more dangerous. I don't have the statistics. I think we were talking about it on the Boys Cast where we were looking up like all the most dangerous cities in America all have Democratic mayors. Like pretty much all.
Yeah.
Of them. Pretty much all of them.
Well, I think this year was the first time that Traverse City went red, and like, I don't know, obviously they went blue for the last 2 elections, and then they went blue for Obama and stuff before that, but I don't.
Like in terms of the mayor?
Remember. No, just in terms of like.
Oh, the county?
Like voting. Yeah.
Yeah, the county.
Yeah, the county.
Well, hopefully that'll clean things up for you a little bit. I mean, I saw something where Trump's like trying to make it Like he's trying to get rid of all the homeless people in America. I don't know how that would even work. But
what, send them to Mexico?
I don't think he wants to send them to Mexico. I think he wants to house them and like probably put them in some kind of camp, some sort of labor camp, I would guess. I don't know. But I think he said something. I don't know if that's feasible, if that's even under the purview of the federal government to deal with like local homeless populations. But he said something along the lines of like he's like wanting to get rid of all the homeless people, but like not kill them. I mean, eventually they'll get killed. But
well, what if we just did like a trade? You know how we imported like 9 million or whatever, 18 million, whatever they say.
Yeah.
See, I'm really bad with the millions.
It sounds like
but
it. Yeah.
But yeah, no, what if we just sent back all the ones that are addicted to drugs and not working? We just push them back over the border and take their ID.
I mean, they wouldn't. I'm sure they wouldn't. I mean, first off, they probably don't even have ID, for one. Secondly, it would just cost so much. This shit costs so much money to get rid of people with any kind of due process. It's a fortune. Like when, if they somehow deport 20 million illegals, when they say how much it costs, people are going to be like, I'm sure people will be like, yeah, I didn't expect it to be cheap, but it's so much fucking money, like insane amount. So, I don't know. The homeless thing, someone said in the chat, but I'm like, I mean, the obvious thing that they need to do is reopen insane asylums because so many.
Yeah, that would stop this guy. That would have stopped him a long time ago.
Exactly. I mean, New York City, like the amount of times you see people who are like having an absolute meltdown on the subway, and you're just like, 40 years ago, this person would have just been in an asylum. But the problem is the asylums, they probably just were like, ran them too strictly, or they just like, you know, they didn't care for them well enough, and they like probably physically abused them, and they were like, yeah, that's too much. And the thing is, everyone always goes too far. Like everybody cannot just be normal. Like they have to go too far, and then they go, yeah, the insane asylums, we got to shut them down. They went too far. So now the alternative is also going too far, which is just letting everybody out and just roaming around freely. You're like, there's got to be some sort of in between.
A happy medium for sure. Yes. And that guy was in an insane asylum for a while.
Sure.
So yeah. And Traverse City, actually, you can look it up, had one of the biggest in the country insane asylums. It's actually gorgeous now. They've like redone it and put like a bunch of hodunk little shops in it.
There's shops in the insane asylum?
Oh yeah, there's shops in it. When I was younger, we used to figure out ways to get inside of it, and there's like 10 miles of like tunnels that connect all the buildings.
This isn't an active insane asylum.
No, well, no, not anymore. It was in the 80s.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm looking it up now, and it's like, yeah, it's all like restaurants. They like gentrified the insane asylum, and it's all just like Italian restaurants and.
Yeah, Italian restaurants and really nice, uppity apartments and stuff. It's next to the actual hospital here too, which is like not a good spot to live. That's where all the homeless people were encamped. Was right in front of the old insane asylum. Yeah, in the park.
Oh and yeah, this looks like a nice little. This looks like a nice little insane asylum. I'm sure it wasn't nice at the time though.
No, dude, there was some pictures of it, and they were it was definitely overcrowded, and they were definitely doing some real creepy shit in there.
I mean, I'm looking at the photos of these like Italian restaurants, and like it does look creepy. You're like basically eating where some guy fucking got like a lobotomy on, like strapped to a gurney.
Oh yeah, you can feel it. Like I said, before they gentrified it, it was just like run down lead paint peeling on all the walls. We fully explored all of them a bunch of times. It was like it would give you a weird feeling in there at night for sure.
Oh yeah.
And then, I said, it was tunnels all the way connecting each of the buildings. There was tunnels where they would like transport patients.
Yeah, I mean, if anything is haunted, it's fucking this place. But I agree. We do need to reopen them. Reopen the mental asylums. I got to let you go, though, because I got to get to some other callers. Anything else you want to add?
No, man. Have a good one. I've been listening for a while. I found you guys. I listened to the boys cast. You guys are great.
Good man. Later, dog. All right, let's go to... Mark says, Michigan University is directly related to the MK Ultra CIA experiments. Interesting. Chris, you're on Low Value Mail.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
It's the first time I've ever caught you live. I listen to you at work all the time.
Good man.
I was just wondering if Rube Star calls in, could you get him to do my horoscope?
If he's listening right now, I don't know. He might be at work, but if he calls in, we can get him to do your horoscope. You want to give me your birthday in case he calls in later?
March 15th, 1982.
March 15th, 1982. Okay. I'll ask him. We'll see what he says.
All right.
He always catches the Bathhouse, and we got a new episode of the Bathhouse tomorrow night. So maybe if you want to, if I can remember, I'll ask him tomorrow night if he calls in.
Yeah, I'll be working tomorrow, so I won't be able to call.
Okay, well, listen to the replay, and I'll see if I can remember. I'll try and ask him for you.
All right, thanks a lot. Keep up the good work.
Sounds good. Later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, we're going to go to the other Pablo. There's two Pablos now in the Scrotiverse. Hold on. Unmute yourself, please. We're going to be joined by Maryam Henein in like 15 minutes, talking about her book, Operation George Floyd, a multi-layered psyop exposed. Okay, well, other Pablo.
It's pronounced Maryam Henein.
Maryam Henein. Mark
Henein.
Thank you, Mark. Mark with the save. With the big save. Okay, other Pablo is not picking up. Let's go to... Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up? You're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
This is Donish.
Donish.
So the interesting thing, I don't know if I'm looking too much into it, but the whole fact that there's a group called Are We Dating the Same Guy? Do you think that gives a little bit of evidence towards the whole claim people are making? You guys talked about with Ryan that a majority of women just go for the same 20% of men. Is that kind of like indirectly evidence for it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is lots of guys. I don't know the exact stats, but I imagine the bottom 20% of guys get no dates. I mean, which is weird, which is crazy if you think about it, because probably like the bottom 20% of guys and the bottom 20% of women are defective in some way where they're like alone. And if you could somehow just get them to match up, but like you see it all the time. Like, you know, they had those like websites, like that Instagram page where it's like the weird people at Walmart, like people of Walmart or whatever. It's like, you see these people where you're like, how the fuck would you ever find someone to marry you? And they do, because they just find someone in their own league. The problem is like in these big metropolitan cities is people are like, yeah, I'm not settling. I want like, you know, you see that all the time on Instagram where it's like, yeah, I do want a dude 6 feet tall, makes $200,000 a year, huge cock. And you're like, it's not happening. You're gross.
Do you think when guys are like an 8 or a 9 and then they just kind of want to hit quickly, you know, as soon as they can get, so they hit like a 6 and then the 6 starts thinking that, oh, I must be an 8 or 9?
Absolutely. Oh, for sure. I mean, as a guy, nothing kind of gives you a spring in your step like bagging a hot one.
True.
You know what I mean? You bag a hot one, you're just like, what have I been doing different recently? You're literally going over everything. You go, was it what I was wearing? You go, how do I do that again? Like there's something about it where you go, hey, I got some mojo going on right now. I'm sure women are the same, where they get a guy out of their league and they're probably like, yeah, this is my league. He wasn't out of my league. This has been my league the entire time.
So you're saying when a guy, even if he's a good-looking dude, he hits like a kind of cute girl, he still gets kind of like a big positive outcome out of it, and he gets kind of his, I guess, nut off. You know.
Well, no. If a guy is slumming, he's just definitely does not go I don't if that's what you're saying. I don't know if I'm understanding, but like
So if a guy is attractive and he hooks up with a girl that's not that attractive, but he still gets his nut on or whatever, and the girl starts thinking she's on his level.
Yeah, and he's just like, no, I was doing charity. He's like, this is not a recurring thing. He's like, there's a reason why you haven't met any of my friends. You know.
Yeah, and last thing, just small point. I remember I heard that although you said that it doesn't really work when the guys make a group, a small amount of time there was, as you know, a time where some group was made, are we dating the same girl? And it was kind of like the same thing. And then I heard a lot of the girls were saying, oh no, we really don't like this. And it's kind of like, yeah, now you know how it feels for that small amount of time where they were able to do some kind of.
Again, it's like women are all just kind of crabs in a bucket a bit. And at the end of the day, they're all just competing. Like if you go from a purely like biological, like essentialism standpoint, they're all just kind of competing to reproduce. They're all competing with one another. It's why you'll see like women be like, oh, we need to go on like a makeup strike. And you're like, yeah, good luck getting everyone on board with your makeup strike, because all these women are just gonna be like, yeah, I'm not going to go on strike and it'll benefit me, essentially scabbing. And then it just doesn't work. Right? Because at the end of the day, they're all just like, yeah, as much as we care about your idealistic bullshit, they're like, yeah, I am trying to find a husband or vice versa.
The sex strike for Trump was. Yeah,
exactly. The sex strike, the Trump sex strike. And you're just like, women aren't going on a fucking sex. I forgot about that. Yeah, they're like, women aren't going on a sex strike. I'm not doing this. You're like absolutely delusional if you think that like you're just going to get every woman on board with this shit.
So as you mentioned, status is the most important thing. So somebody that isn't completely there, the best thing to do is be confident and give off the impression that you're going to be getting resources in the near future.
Yes, it's honestly, it's very much like, have you ever seen the show Silicon Valley? They have this like viral clip of Silicon Valley where they're like, the main guy, he's like, we need to get some revenue for our company because, it's like if we get some revenue, then like we'll get a better valuation. And the guy's like, no. He's like, what you want to do is you want to not have revenue. He's like, you want to be like a pure play pre-revenue where essentially like it's limitless. Like he's like, the sky's the limit essentially. Like all chicks want to see is they go, this guy has some potential. Like obviously it's great if you've reached your potential, but they just want to be like, yeah, he's working towards something. There's something that'll be better than this down the line, and women generally can figure that out. It's when they're like, yeah, there's nothing here. And they go, yeah, they're not interested.
I really appreciate, I again, left work early to talk to you, and I appreciate the nuances, and even like, there's a lot of things that to be like, because all the gossip you mentioned, but you did mention the point that like there is a small chance that people could be, a man could do something very horrible to a woman, but obviously they take most of it is gossip. So I appreciate your nuances and your points. You're not just completely black and white, and you seem not to be I don't know if the word is non-ideological, but you seem very, as Ryan said when I met him, that you're very pragmatic.
I am very pragmatic. That is true. All right, thanks, Danish. Thanks for calling in, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thanks. Bye.
Danish, everybody. All right, we're gonna take one more call, and then we're gonna chat with Mark for a moment, and then we're gonna go to our guest. If you enjoy the show, subscribe to the channel. Like this stream. Don't be a scrote. All right, we got other Pablo here, but he's not picking up. Other Pablo, for whatever reason, cannot pick up, and I'm going to close the phone lines here because we're not going to take any more calls. I don't know what's going on. He can't figure it out. It's just you press *6 1 something or other. I don't know. All right, let's talk to Mark. Oh, there's Pablo. Hold on, Mark. Disengage. Other Pablo. Are you there? Yeah.
Yo, what's up, dude?
How's it going, man?
First time call, man.
Nice. Love to hear
stoked,
it.
Man.
What's up?
Yo, I had so many things I wanted to talk to you about, but honestly, you kind of hit it right off the head, man. I wanted to talk about Epstein and the Jays, but talking about government censorship and how important privacy is. But you got me on the whole dating swipe thing, man.
Are you single?
No, dude. I was really hard in the paint last summer. I lived down the shore, dude. And yeah, dude, I hired a coach. I figured out how to do text game, and that's what pretty much separates the 80% from the 90%, I think.
I mean, that is a big thing, because a lot of guys can, you know, they'll be on an app and they will get some matches, and then you're like, that's just getting your foot through the door. You gotta be good on text. That is very true. Which is really just, you just gotta be like kind of silly and funny. Like, you just do not want to be like super business-like, because chicks hate that, because
you don't want to be try hard.
You don't want to be a try hard. You just want to, like, not care, but also just try and kind of be funny is, I think, the best way to do it. Like, not like literally like you're like, oh, I got to be like killing her with jokes or anything like that. It's more just like, you know, you got to be like chill. Women talk to like so many dudes. Like, you just have to put yourself in their position where they're like, yeah, they match with guys all day. A lot of them are just like some accountant who is autistic and dull, and he's just like, how's your day? And she's just like, I don't want to talk about my day. I don't know you. Like, help me help me forget about my day.
I was finding that it's a real rinse and repeat process. It's just like, I'm not a big video game type dude, but it seems like a video game.
Kind
you get
of.
past the text game, you start stacking numbers, and then from the numbers, you start running through your first date protocols. And I was getting really hung up on like the second dates, and then you kind of build from there. You get your second dates, you get your third dates, and man, I was doing one weekend last summer. Man, I had 6 dates on one weekend. I was breaking down the bunch
Jesus,
break.
that's like a fucking job.
Yo, dude, it is.
That's a lot of work right there.
It's
I mean,
all the same shit though. Just remember what you talked to him about. That's half the battle.
yeah, exactly. I mean, a big part of it is just like, I mean, it sounds crazy, but you're like, you just want to come off as like, you don't care about this, but you don't want to not care too much. You know, you don't want to be like, I completely don't care about this, but you just want to, like, you know, just be fucking normal. I know it's hard. Like, some guys are, when they tell guys, you're like, yeah, just be confident. You're like, yeah, but I'm not. That's obviously, if I could just be confident, and I wouldn't have any problems, but it's not that easy to just be confident. But you kind of just be like, yeah, this is just another person. It's reps. It's definitely like, you know, not, this is like straight out of the game, but like, do not put chicks on a pedestal. It's just like, they're on a date with you too. It's not like they fucking got coerced into doing this. Like, they're there too on their own free will. Dude,
once you get to the next level, it was like my first date ruled after the first level, and then once you start getting the second date, the first date's like in.
Yeah. Yeah. And for sure, you definitely, I mean, like, I know some people like comics and stuff, and they're like, yeah, they have like, and people have this too, where they're like, yeah, I have like little go-to kind of bits, I guess, that I just do all the time that work. And, you know, you kind of figure out what works, you figure out what doesn't, and that's it. But that's fucking expensive, man. Taking 6 girls out in a weekend. Did you get a part-time job to do that?
Nah, dude. Honestly, yo, free tip, dude. People watching. Cheapest fucking date. I live down the shore, dude. So we go to the boardwalk, and I know a couple spots. You get in on those happy hours, dude. I'm getting out for like less than like $30 on a date.
That's crazy. $30. That's
well,
fucking.
Dude, you want to hang out with them for what? Like an hour or two?
Yeah.
How many drinks you slamming versus like, you know, they look at the drink menu. You're like, oh fuck, I might be in a little bit of trouble. But
yeah,
you know, I mean,
$30 is $30 is not bad at all.
Points.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah, dude.
Unless they're like a fun time, and then you go like, so you were having multiple dates in the same day?
Yeah, dude.
What happens if the date went well,
date,
though?
And then also too, you're faking. Yo, full disclosure, man. I mean, you're pulling these chicks off the fucking apps. I mean, I was on like 7 or 8 different apps, so I'm working at like just an hour a day, just fucking texting alone.
Oh yeah.
Just to, you know,
it is so much work.
So.
But like, what if you're on a date? What if you're on a date with a girl and you go, this is actually like fun, and I think I could seal the deal here. You're just like, I gotta go to the next one.
Dude, legit, my main issue with my first dates not getting second dates was I was bringing back to my place. I live very close to the beach and all that, and it was a lot of like fling type shit. And once I kind of figured out how to build like, I guess, more like trust and connection, that's when I was able to kind of hone down to the second and third dates and kind of like kind of level up too with the type of chick I was talking to.
Sure. Well, I mean, I will say there's something to be said there about you. You just realize you go, yeah, I'm a better second date guy. That's more of my like zone. So you go, let's just get to the second date. I'm a better closer on the second date versus the first date. So you just kind of figure that out. All right, Pablo, I got to let you go though, just because we got to get to our guest. But thanks for calling in, man.
Hey, real quick, man, before you go, dude.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you how mad you are about Epstein still. That is kind of, I want to know.
You're talking to Black Pill Danny over here. I'm just like, it is what it is.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, it's literally
Fuck
fool me once, shame on you. Fool me for the 1,000th time, shame on me. And we're in fucking 1,000 territory right now. You know, this is what they do. We were fucking rubes to ever think we were getting anything out of this. And I mean, I guess we'll see. I don't know. It's not something I'm actively thinking about anymore. I'm just like, we'll see. Maybe something will come out. It's just like, it seems like Trump's name's all over that shit. So it seems like it's not going to come out, but we shall see. They're saying all this stuff. Ghislaine Maxwell is going to get limited immunity, all this bullshit. So I don't know. Anyways, later, man.
Hell yeah, man.
Take care. Other Pablo. All right, let's talk to Mark quickly, and then we're going to go to the break and get our guest on.
Yo,
what's up?
Danny, you're the man. Just want to thank you for taking me on the team.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate everything you've done.
Oh, dude, it's been a sick ride. I love the show. Just because I don't have time to work for you anymore doesn't mean I'm not going to be tuning in and
hell yeah.
So, and hey, there's always an opportunity potentially to work together in the future. So
yeah, absolutely, man. No, I get how it is, man. You got like your fucking all your other shit going on, but it has been a good ride. And I was saying you've been an excellent producer and getting guests. You've been top notch. You will be very difficult to replace, and you will be missed.
I could still do that for you, even though I can't produce the show. So we could talk about that later. But cool. I'm more than happy to still do that because that doesn't require me to be sitting.
Right. Yeah, you don't actually have to block off a specific time. Cool.
And and people like you. So to have that connection is useful to me too with what I do as a booker. But anyways, just wanted to thank the audience too, because they're all super cool. I appreciate all the dudes and the occasional gals that call in and the little moments I've had chatting with them before the show and in live chats and Instagram and whatnot. So follow me at My Family Thinks I'm Crazy on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. My podcast comes out twice a week. If you haven't listened to it yet, check it out. We go deep with the guests, similar guests to the people Danny has on. And Tinfoil Hat. Of course, I'm still working with Sam and Tinfoil Hat, so check out that show.
You're a man of many tinfoil hats.
Yep, I'm making merch too. Handmade American fabrics, made in America. It's going to be sick merch that's actually worth the money you're paying for it. So, and it's handmade by me. I've got a new shirt coming out called What List. It's got Epstein's face on it and the Epstein list plastered over it. So every single celebrity and politician that potentially is involved with him is listed on this shirt.
That'll be a busy shirt.
Yeah, pick it up. It's going to look cool. It's going to be a statement if you want, like the last guest or caller, Pablo, if you really want to, get the word out there, wear this shirt. It'll turn some heads.
Cool, buddy. All right, Mark, everybody. I'm sure we'll hear from you a little bit later. But we're going to go to the break now. And we'll be back with our guest very shortly, Maryam Henein. I forget how he said it. She'll let me know. All right. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, we are back. Sorry that took a few extra minutes because I was setting something very special up. Joining me today is Maryam Henein. Did I get that right?
Hi. Yes.
There we go.
Thank you.
Third time's a charm. Maryam, you are the author of Operation George Floyd, a multi-layered psyop. The reason it took me a few extra minutes to get back here is because we were setting it up. You got your book right there. And we were setting it up because you have a trailer for a documentary that we are now, a quick one, we are now going to play. So everybody sit tight, and we are going to play that for you now.
Freedom of speech, fuck. Don't touch him. I got this all on camera. Watch out. Don't touch me.
Third precinct is up and...
Hold on. I'm an idiot. I'm in studio mode. Sorry.
Don't call yourself an idiot.
No, I am. Here we go.
Freedom of speech, fuck.
Am I supposed to? I can't see
I
it.
got this all on camera. Watch out. Don't touch me.
Third precinct is up in flames.
We begin with breaking news in South Minneapolis.
Caught on tape, a black man pinned to the ground, later dying after a white officer kneeled on his neck.
It started with a report of a forgery in progress and ended with Floyd's death.
The situation has become volatile. The 3rd Police Precinct tonight.
Is it playing?
Police officers and protesters clash over a man's death.
Miles from Minneapolis, anger, frustration pouring into the streets of America.
I can't breathe! It all stems from this video.
What we saw was that he can be heard on the video saying, "I can't breathe."
Police officers involved have all been terminated.
Let me see your hands.
You can ask Mr. Adams about me.
Man, I'm scared as fuck, man. If I start breathing, it's gonna go off on me. I can't choke. I can't breathe without it.
That's my ex. He got a thing going on. I'm telling you
What
about
does
the
that mean?
police. We have problems. Not move, not one time, bro.
He's off track right now.
But he has bro, go back in the store.
What
happened to him?
All right.
They fucked him up.
You took your ID?
Yeah.
What
happened? Organic cut foods?
Cup foods, yeah. It was just a forgery report. The person that had given them a fake bill, we went over there and just...
Bananas.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the trailer for your documentary coming out. Is it out now? Mario, oh, hold on. Sorry.
Thank you.
There we go. That's a trailer. Is it out now? Can people watch it now?
Oh, it's been out for a year. It's just that I'm quite censored. The film came out a year before the fall of Minneapolis. Liz Collins is playing the role of alternative media reporter, but I'm the real deal. And this was edited by the one and only Sean Hibbler. And I
Cool.
waited quite a while to find a proper editor that was open, that knew the material, knew the storyline, that I didn't have to educate because I was deep in the bowels of George Floyd. And so I purchased all the footage with my own money. People may not know, I go by the Bee Lady. I directed the award-winning film Vanishing of the Bees back when I was in the Matrix, before I identified with the Trinity, back when Ellen Page was still a girl.
Sure. Sure, a long time ago. So I have a question about this, obviously. I mean, obviously, this is a big story. Everybody knows about this. So what is the PSYOP specifically? Because When I hear psyop, I hear like this was all done intentionally. Like this was all, the entire thing was premeditated, almost like it was like a script.
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yep, I sure am.
Okay. So
It's a multi-layered psyop. So I say that if George Floyd was a stone, he would have killed a lot more than two birds. So, on one level, it was BS, systemic racism, which it had nothing to do. On another level, it was color revolution. On another level, it's like a Russian doll. On another level, it was it helped us go from virus to violence overnight. It helped destroy and cause $2 billion in damage. It was also the duty to intervene exercise. And hopefully now, after Event 201, and if anyone read Bill Gates, one of his latest books, where he has an entire chapter called Practice, Practice, Practice. And he outlines the different sorts of exercises, whether they're tabletop exercises or very real scenarios where some people sometimes get hurt. In these operations, people are compartmentalized, so they do not know the full scope. And one of the so this is everything that happened from 7:30 to 9:30 by buying the exhibits from the government. This is basically how you make the sausage. This, I was told after, is for the future records, because the Ministry of Truth is alive and well. We've all lived through psychological operations. So it's like a deep state whodunit thriller. And for instance, some of the chapters, George Floyd, hot off the press, El Nuevo Rodeo and Maya Lopez Santa Maria, Darnella Frazier from Snacks to Stars, Ozarks on COVID-19, Operation Counterfeit. I have another chapter called Blood Debts and Human Sacrifice, another chapter called 6 Ways to Detect a False Flag Event. So this is full of, as a real journalist and not a parrot or a prostitute, this is full of freedom of information. And most of the hundreds of footnotes have literally been scrubbed even from archive.org. And I bought the debt from Cup Foods. That was a convenience store. I bought the debt from.
What do you mean the debt?
So George Floyd owes $20, right? He gave counterfeit. So I purchased the debt from Nabil, one of the 4 Palestinian owners of Cup Foods.
Okay.
And
for $20?
Yeah, so that I can have a legitimate reason to run his George Floyd's social security card after social security number. So I did a Freedom of Information Act and got his social security card because in August there was a red herring, aka Timothy Jaffet, and who said that the real George Floyd was killed. But in truth, George Floyd is an amalgamation of several different people. So the purported athlete was actually called Floyd George. And also then after getting the social security number, I waited a year till I found a ballsy private eye and ran the social security number. And he helped me obtain 200 internal documents between the MPD and the government. I am the only one on the planet that's talking to the dude who shanked Derek. And the information is quite dangerous. Hence why part of the reason why they have attacked my livelihood. Because they don't have to kill people. They can digitally assassinate people. They can personalize the algorithms and tailor their torture.
So what, did you get his credit score? What was his credit score like?
I did not get his credit score. I did get hush money. There was a $5 million order 24 days before George Floyd died to a baby mama. Hush money.
So like, one of his baby mamas received $5 million 24 days before he was. So correct. I don't understand, but you're saying before he died, did he even exist? Who was that man?
No, he did exist. George Perry Floyd did exist. He was very arguably a operative when he was arrested in Texas for aggravated robbery. He lived in a federal housing complex. That is where they poach informants. You can be an unwitting informant. But if you watch my movie, you will see that George says, "I'm scared as fuck when this goes off on me. When I stop breathing, when this goes off on me, I'm going to stop breathing." So what was he referring to? Was he told that he was going to be made into Rodney King 2.0 and that he was going to wake up? Did you know that George Floyd and Derek Chauvin worked at the same club that has ties to the Mexican cartel? And 2 times that I posted on Craigslist for anyone to give me some evidence, within 30 minutes, both times, it was flagged and removed.
So what exactly is your contention of what happened here? So George Floyd was a real person. He was working with the feds, but he wasn't. They killed him. But I guess he thought he was working with them, and then they double crossed him and killed him in order to.
They get rid of the patsies. If you really knew what happened to Derek, does anybody know where Derek is today? Well, this is exclusive information. Derek is paralyzed and using a shit bag.
Really? Derek Chauvin is paralyzed now. From
because there's a movement to free Derek, but isn't anyone smart enough to be like, where is Derek after he got stabbed 22 times?
So he's paralyzed now and using, I guess, a colostomy bag. Yeah, this is pretty intense. So
it is. I was told Friday on a radio show, frankly, I'm surprised you're alive, Maryam. And I did cancel, clear, delete to cancel that negative. But like I said, they don't have to pow shoot you.
Right. They can just kind of erase you, do all the other stuff.
They have erased me.
Yeah. Like your banking, stuff like that.
I'm banned on Venmo, Vimeo, PayPal, GoFundMe, Instacart, Airbnb, Amazon. I've been persecuted by the government twice. And that's for my health stuff because I'm a functional medicine coach. And I was one of the first in the health and wellness space before all these conservatives jumped into the mix. And I've been smeared on national television. So does that have average?
No. How do you get banned from Instacart?
I don't know. I mean, I'm the B lady and I got banned on Bumble.
Really?
Okay? Got banned on a fucking dating app.
Crazy.
Why? For sharing this movie.
Yeah.
For sharing a link because My Movies Plus picked up the movie only to sit on it.
Interesting. So
you can only, by the way, sorry, you can only get this movie on MaryamHenein.com. Okay. You can only get it. It's only an hour long. If anyone knows Sean Hibbler. So please support a badass journalist.
Cool. Yeah, definitely check it out. So was the entire, is everything what happened after George Floyd died, was that part of the whole grand plan? Like all the riots and all the chaos and defunding the police, like that was part. And what evidence do you have of that this was kind of this premeditated thing?
How about an internal document between the police and the government saying, consider this to be a marathon and not a sprint?
And when was that from?
When?
Yeah.
That was in early June. It's in my book. I mean, there's tons of photos. I bring receipts. I'm not like a.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering the date, that was before the George Floyd incident?
No, it was after. There was also a training day that I found. A characteristic for these false flags is a training, right? So there was a training scheduled on the 29th of May, which is the day in record speed that they arrested Derek. And he was on that training. It was a training that was involving driving, police driving, and 2 of the lieutenants who ended up testifying against Derek were on there. It was canceled, of course, in April, and it was hosted by the Dakota Technical College. Dakota Technical College is where Derek graduated, not as a cop, but as a cook, cook. So when I called, of course, there's crickets. Nobody responded to me. And then when I looked to see who funded the technical college, it's all the usual suspects like Bill Gates's EcoHealth and Planned Parenthood. This is really how you make the sausage. This is the most information on a psychological operation on the face of this planet.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you think of RFK or JFK took 50 years, so we just had the hearing like a month and a half ago or 2 months ago. So they do not want this information out. And nobody knows. The only person who's speaking to the shanker that stabbed Derek is Maryam Henein. That's me.
How do you get a hold of him? How do you find out who that is? Who shanked
Well,
him?
it's the universe that brought us. How? I mean, I've been covering this. I'm in the inside bowels. I'm the world's leading expert on George Floyd.
Yeah.
There's no stone that I've left.
No, I just meant, how do you like find this guy? Like, what's the process?
Well, the day of the shanking, I called the police. I called the bureau, the Arizona Prisons Bureau. And he later told me that the government said, we have a conspiracy theorist who directed a movie on bees that is interested in speaking to you, but don't mind that psycho kook. So he said bees. Then I looked at Pacer. I have apopenia, which is is pattern recognition.
Okay.
And I was
so does a lot of the audience.
Great.
Yeah.
So I was looking
at pattern
at
recognizers.
Pacer and seeing because I read John Tursak is his name.
Okay.
I read his 100-page court case. This was a La MA gang member who was in Pelican Bay. When he got out of Pelican Bay at age 19, the FBI recruited him, paid him $2,000 a month, and but he never ratted on his faction. He's an embarrassment to the FBI. So I read his case. He went pro se. Anyone that goes pro se is not a fan of the government. I tracked down his original lawyer. Has anyone else called you? I'm the only one. How is that? How is that possible?
Yeah.
And read his case. Then I saw that one lawyer stuck. So I reached out to his lawyer and I said, can you ask John if I can write to him? And he was going over the, hundreds of people who reached out to get an exclusive on John Tursak and the shanking. And he already knew that, AP lied. And the lawyer said to him, this one would make a perfect pen pal for you. So he said, stop fucking with me, old man. Is she hot? And he said, smoking. And in this picture, she's covered in bees. And he realized it's the same psycho kook. It's the bee lady. He said bee lady without even knowing that's my nickname. And he said, what is her name anyway? And he converted to Islam. So when he told him that the name was Maryam, he said that an electric bolt went through his body. And he thanked God because he asked for an intelligent, ballsy, real, beautiful journalist. And so that's how we connected.
Cool.
And he told me, even though I'm a cold-blooded murderer, I'm no liar. And I know you're no liar. So, but I can't get the story out. He's trying to make me a media expert and put me on his payroll.
And so did he say why he stabbed? Did he in fact stab Derek Chauvin?
Yeah.
And what was the reason?
Because the government told him to.
In
what
exchange?
do you do with that information?
In
That's
exchange?
kind of dangerous.
In exchange for something? Like, were they offering him some sort of reduced sentence or?
He's owned by the government.
Right.
He signed a document that said that his agreement and that any other agency, and he wanted to get back in the game, and he was socially engineered. He read my book. He read it in a week because he didn't understand why this bee lady is so censored. And he said, Mama, B, RESPCT.
Sure.
Because this is, I'm very proud of this book. It's too bad. I just got it on Amazon. So I rather people get it on my site. But if anyone buys books or reads books anymore, they know that the real books cost hundreds of dollars. So if this has X amount in circulation, it's going to be a rare book.
Yeah.
And it's ahead of its time, just like me. I'm in the future.
Right. It's like a collectible. So how did you get onto this whole George Floyd thing? So you originally, when did your bee documentary come out? What year was that?
Vanishing of the Bees came out in 2011.
Because that used to be a big thing where they were like, the bees are all disappearing.
Yeah. I used to be in the mainstream.
Whatever happened to not to get off topic, but whatever happened to the whole bee disappearing thing?
They're still dying.
They're still dying.
It's my film has been translated in 13 languages. It's won awards all over the world. But the bees are still, that is still a concern, that the bees are going extinct. Oh yeah. I mean, we spray, we're being poisoned in all sorts of ways. So to answer your question, I left for the jungle because, as I said, I'm in the future. I knew this pandemic was going to happen.
Yeah.
I went with Zach Voorhees. I was with the Google whistleblower and took him to Costa Rica 6 days before the entire country shut down. So it was the day, May 25th, Zach said, Mimi, can you come and choke me? And I said, what? He's like,
Kinky.
I'm doing the George Floyd challenge.
Oh.
And I said, who's George Floyd? And I said, if you really want to know how he died, I called the medical. I was the first one to call the medical examiners. And they told me that it would take weeks and weeks and weeks. And then the next day, when CNN dropped their preliminary reports, I was like, how is that happening? So that's how I started. And I didn't tap out.
Yeah.
It's a 4-year plus endeavor. It took me 4+ years to make Vanishing of the Bees. There's no amount of money that someone could pay me. This is thousands of hours.
Yeah.
And really anyone could read that with all due respect and tell me if they could ever write this.
Probably
like
not.
my probably not.
No.
The people who have read it, it's like, how did you get all this information? And I was writing it. I was doing research in real time because, like I said, they've scrubbed most of the footnotes, even from archive.org.
Oh, to kind of discredit you, because basically, like, you have these footnotes, and then if you went to reference them, they're gone now.
Correct. I mean, I was threatened by the Floyd.
That's fucked up.
Floyd legacy threatened to sue me. They told me I couldn't use the word George Floyd. Why? Because they trademarked everything from keychains to fucking slippers.
What? He's a big brand. He's a big
The
brand.
stuff in here is really like how you make the sausage. You can apply this to all the riots that are happening, that have been happening in the past month. They don't want people to read this, the left or the right.
Yeah.
So I would say I've covering transhumanism. I've been covering vaccines since 2012, plus George Floyd equals no bueno for the bee lady. So I have displayed more courage than most men on this planet. And I would invite people, if they still read, I will be doing an audio book, but I haven't gotten to that.
Are you going to read it?
I
Yourself?
can do it in a British accent. No, it's a lot. It's a lot. I was told that I could train the AI. I would love to do it. I've narrated many.
You could do
things
AI.
to
Yeah, you could
voices.
use like Speechify or something.
Yeah, my friend who did Adam Finnegan, who did Sleeper Agent. I mean, they did similar things to him. Sleeper Agent is the original book on Lyme. And then the fake Stanford teacher wrote Bitten and took all the credit, stole his work. And,
On Lyme disease?
Yeah, on the bioweapon. On the bioweapon.
Of Lyme disease. Oh, I didn't know Lyme disease was a bioweapon. So what do you, like, so how do you say this psyop making the sausage, and so what other kind of things have you noticed that they're doing similarly, like with other events that have kind of followed this similar playbook?
Well, the riots that have been occurring, it's, using the left and the right to divide and conquer. They have these Antifa cause damage, and then law and order, more track and trace, more surveillance. I mean, the amount of surveillance that went in the wake of the Derek Chauvin trial, and anyone that watched the trial, of course, it's a sham show. They represent us, we the people. We are glorifying criminals, and we are imprisoning God-loving. I mean, my friends have been institutionalized, have been in prison. I'm constantly doing damage control. The week of the Black Friday, I was back in the day, you could call the newsroom as a journalist. And my first job in this country, I'm from Canada.
Oh, me too. Where are you from?
Montreal.
Oh, nice. I'm from outside of Toronto. Toronto.
Where?
Outside of Toronto.
Yeah, my dad lives in Toronto in Don Mills, but my dad disowned me.
Oh, really? That's unfortunate.
It is. He's a Christian though. He worked for Pfizer and Procter and Gamble.
Oh no,
Johnson and
Pfizer.
Johnson.
He's been compromised.
Oh, I mean, he lives in fear. Anyone who's scared of death fell for this pandemic, and still people to this day don't know that they put nanotech in, some of the batches. They gave a whole host of different things in this bioweapon. I mean, anyone who's still toting the safe and effective BS. So you asked, but with full disclosure, I have resigned as a journalist. I've made a seminal movie. This is for the future. I am 52 years old.
Oh, you look great. I would have never thought you were.
Thank you. I'm a functional medicine coach. I help others. I'm also psychic and intuitive. And so I'm focusing on solutions. People work with me. I'm just shifting gears. I mean, I was infiltrated by Procter and Gamble. I have a health and wellness site. So they've really done a good job of fucking with me, but I'm still standing.
That's great. That's great that you're still standing. Yeah, this is a lot to take in. So
I know.
What are your hopes for, like, say, if this book were to, everybody read it? Like, what would the hope for that be? And we're going to open the phone lines, actually. You know what? We're going to open the phone lines right now. I imagine some people have some questions for you. Phone lines are open, 1-888-949-2969. Any of you
Would you
have
like
questions?
me to answer?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
I would like people to realize, and I wish I got the memo sooner, that it's all divide and conquer. And in this transhumanist agenda and this faux golden age under the age of Aquarius, where I will cite the Hope experiment, where they drown the rats and then they put them on land and they don't go 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 hours. They go 60 to 8 more hours, which is the next 4 years, while they put in place their track and trace. If anyone's paying attention to what ChatGPT is doing, it's blowing smoke up people's asses. And it's going to bring about spiritual narcissism. So I would invite people to go within and get their house in order. I have a show on Fridays on Rumble called Truth Lives Here. I did an interview with Howdy McCoskey about exiting the trap, and to really realize that your health, love, family is the most important thing. I was chasing my career. I came far as a ethnic brown girl from Montreal, Canada.
Sure.
But I've reached the glass ceiling. I'm too good for this country. Too real.
Are you still in Canada?
Oh, no, I'm in West Palm. I moved across the pond. I figured there's not going to be any funky fog in Trump's backyard, right?
Right. I don't know. What's funky
I
fog?
haven't been in. Well, there was funky fog. I mean, whatever is going on with weather warfare,
Sure.
you're going to be safe here. I left. I was living in California for 23 years. I considered myself, I mean, I worked in Hollywood. I was part of the mainstream. I haven't been in Montreal. I haven't seen my mom since before the Rona.
Really?
I didn't want to go to Canada. Yeah.
You haven't been back. You're not missing much in Canada, besides your family, obviously, but Canada kind of stinks. All right, let's say we have a call, and the phone lines are open. If anybody has any questions for you, we're gonna go. I think I know who this is, but phone lines are open, 1-888-949-2969. Let's take call number 1. We've got conspiracy. I imagine it's him. Hello, you're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, how's it going? It's Conspiracy Extremist.
What's up, buddy? How's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Maryam, I think I saw you before you were going around before your movie came out, right? On shows.
Yes, sir. I've gotten around on the podcast. I mean, I've been around for 25 years as a real journalist and public figure.
But you were promoting your movie before it was released, right?
Well, the movie's been out.
Yeah, it's been out for a year
the
now.
book is what's fresh, and it took me 5 years, and I got fucked over by 3 different publishers. Messed with me, so I published it on my own.
So I'm pretty sure whenever it was released, I bought your movie either right after and watched the whole thing immediately.
Where would you have seen it?
Your website. It's got a big picture of you with the bees around you.
My movie's not on my website. My movie, you could just get the DVD. It was on Rockfin before Rockfin went rogue, and the
maybe
Rockfin
that's
stole
where it was.
$1,000 of my has $1,000 of my Ray tokens. Hi, Rockfin.
Yeah, we heard about. You're the second person in 2 weeks to talk shit about Rockfin. Same thing. Someone last week was saying how Rockfin fucked everybody over.
I could really use those thousands of dollars. I'm on food stamps now because of all the fuckery I've dealt with. I had $1 million company, honeycolony.com, that was making $3,000 a day before. Maybe you don't know this, Danny, but
No, I don't.
March 2020, the FDA, FTC, DOJ launched Operation Quack Hack, and they came after me for, what's your transgression? I use the word prevention in the same sentence as coronavirus, and I sell a 4,000 ppm chelated silver that works. I mean, someone the other day told me it killed their whatever was going on in 4 days on honeycolony.com. So, I mean,
what's it? So what is this chelated silver? What is that exactly?
Silver if the aristocrats, blue-blooded, they used to use silverware, and silver is an antimicrobial, antiviral. And I have usually colloidal silver is 0 to 500 ppm. Mine is 4,000. It's called Silver Excelsior.
Okay.
And the government, so good, the government came after me for it.
Wow. So they shut the business down?
They shut it down until the Ministry of Truth made sure that I, fixed the post that used the word prevention. And then I had to follow, I got back on. However, Google and the big tech have married with the pharmaceuticals. So all the FDA, blah, 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 they all got facelifts, if people notice, in the past 5 years. And I'll tell you another thing. In 2018, I used to write for a site called Care2. And they sent me a message. They sent all of the freelancers a message, and they said, you have 2 weeks to download their stories. Now, I would pitch the stories. It was health and wellness. It was spiritual. It was thousands of articles. They did not archive them. And why? Because they knew this pandemic, that they knew people were going to be locked down. God forbid someone realizes they shouldn't be inside of their homes and they need vitamin D. So that shows yet another evidence to this being a pandemic. Anyway, sorry, Phoenix. Do you have anything? I'm sorry, what's your name? If you have another
Conspiracy Extremist is his name.
Yeah. So, well, I did watch your movie soon after you released it. It was amazing and well put together. It was mind blowing. If you remember, I think you might have mentioned this too a while back, but Candace Owen released her little series on George Floyd, right after yours.
Yeah, Candace got my trailer, and next thing you know, Candace is doing a movie.
Oh, interesting. Interesting little.
Yeah. It's pretty suspect timing. So do you think she just ripped you off, or yours is way better. She did not have nearly as much information. It's
detail. All, if any of you guys watch Sam Tripoli or Union of the Unwanted, we talk about dangerous, and safe, dangerous. They co-opt.
Yeah.
Throughout the 5 years, they would spy. They take my information, and I'm not the only one. I have a handful of others who are true, doing the real work and keeping tabs on us. The Fall of Minneapolis came out a year after. I know Liz Collins saw my movie because I know the reporter who showed her my movie. So if you remember in my film, I show Tutal, the Asian officer, does this like in Hollywood, right? They took that when she was shown that scene, they poo-pooed it as a conspiracy. But they put that in The Fall of Minneapolis completely out of sequence as a little cue to Mimi, to Maryam. So that's what they do. Liz Collins went on Epoch Times with Jan Yanelic. You know me, Jan. Remember that story I wrote on techno-fascism that went viral and you never gave me another gig? So I'm dangerous now because I know who's who in the zoo.
Yeah.
Another reason to be dangerous when you're authentic, and people's authenticity is the highest frequency. And that's where we're heading. Frequency is where it's at. Authenticity, it's where it's at, because the matrix is starting to glitch, or it's been glitching.
Interesting. Anything else?
I have one more question,
go ahead.
And then I'll jump off. I think part of your doc you showed there were like SWAT team or something on the building. What was that all about?
No, that was footage from the riots that ensued afterwards. That's just taken from the news. That wasn't part of an exhibit. Is that what you're talking about?
Okay.
At the end,
Yeah, I thought there was like something weird with like police officers that weren't supposed to be there or were like farther away or something.
Well, after 10:30, it became a crime scene. And if you think something happened to you or me, do you think the FBI would fucking come knocking? No. So they cordoned everything off. And if you watch the movie, no one, not Liz Collins, not Candace, no one talks about the role of Cup Foods. And so the book...
What's the role of Cup Foods? Can you explain that?
They're central. I mean, you can watch the film and read the book, but they are central and they're playing both sides. And if you just think, why didn't they burn down?
Yeah. But that's what you're saying is they were a part of all this. They weren't just a store that this happened at. They were integral.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a whole chapter on cup foods, and you could see their sordid past. I mean, yeah, I hope people read. I hope, sir, you could consider going to my website and getting the book as opposed to Amazon, and supporting, because really, journalists get killed, right? So to have this much courage just to say the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right on. Well, yeah, it was a great, well done documentary. It was mind blowing. So good job.
Thank
All right,
you.
thanks, Danny.
Kudos to
Thanks,
Sean
man.
Hickler.
Yeah, shout out to Sean Higler. I have a question from the chat. It says, how do you feel about Bob Lazar? Any thoughts? No. And then you're a bit of a health expert. So do you wash your legs? This is big point of contention on this. Yeah, wash. Yeah. Do you wash your legs?
What does that mean?
Like in the shower? Do you wash? Because some of us, I don't really wash my legs below my knees. I kind of wash everything up to the knee.
Sometimes, not always.
Not all the time, but is there any sort of health implications from not washing your legs?
Well, not that I know of.
Okay.
I mean, I have, I'm lucky that anyone see, all I'm allowed to do on TikTok is dance videos. I'm an interpretive dancer. So someone could check out my legs, because I could have been in a wheelchair after being hit by an SUV at 35 miles an hour and having a metal rod in my leg that I removed. So
wow. Was that post documentary? Was that post?
Oh, no. Was, I was still working at MSNBC. I got hit outside of the now defunct Bodhi Tree, a metaphysical bookstore. And in my spiritual awakening, I read Out on a Limb at 13. I'm an old soul. And she talks about the Bodhi tree. Fast forward, at the height of my Saturn return, get hit outside of the Bodhi tree and had a near-death experience, and broke 6 bones, including my left femur.
Wow.
So I really am a walking miracle.
Yeah. That's good to hear.
And I have a degree as a functional medicine coach, which is root-based. And again, I'm 52 years old and reverse lupus and fibromyalgia. So I can help a lot of people if they're serious about.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. And is that how you got on all the bee stuff? Just that kind of interest.
After my accident, I asked God, I want to do something in service. I want to be in service. And the bees flew into my life.
Like a literal bee flew in? Like, was there an actual bee?
Actually, well, we learned about colony collapse disorder, and I made the film with George Langworthy. And then I was driving on Beverly Boulevard, on La Cienega, and there was a swarm of bees, and everybody was rolling their windows up, and I was rolling my windows down. And I've had a lot of bee visitations. I'm the bee lady. I mean, would have a fundraiser. The host a bee would land in his house. I carry bee medicine. These are my bee stripes.
Okay.
The first ayahuasca ceremony that I did, actually, which was at Elevate with Mickey Willis many, many years ago in Los Angeles, I asked for something that represented the bees, but I didn't know what. And during my first ceremony, I saw a swarm around me, and I heard, "You've earned your stripes." So these are the actual stripes. If you were to look at a bee, it's the Fibonacci sequence.
Okay.
And it's on the female side. Left side is your female side. The right side is the male side. So
interesting.
They are in service, and they make the world a sweeter place.
Yeah. And they pollinate all the plants.
Yeah.
Right. How did the bee community feel about, because I imagine you were probably big in the bee community. How did they feel about your turn into the George Floyd stuff?
I have not. I have done very little outreach. I mean, like I said, I got infiltrated by fucking Procter and Gamble. I'm on food stamps. I'm targeted, and I'm trying to put my life back together for standing up, which is why I'm asking people to support a courageous, beautiful woman who is a real journalist. So no, I haven't done the proper outreach. I noticed that. Even the conservatives are reticent because there's a movement to free Derek. But, there's a lot more going on.
Do you think he'll be freed, even though he's paralyzed and has a colostomy bag? You think any chance of that happening?
I don't know, sweetheart. I don't know where it's going to go. I just know Ben Shapiro and Daily Wire are led that, and they would never have me on the show, right? So I don't know. I don't know if it's just what's going to happen. With
Are
that.
you in favor of Derek Chauvin getting
Yes.
released?
Yeah, he's a patsy.
Right.
He's a sacrificial lamb, but he did go to the School of Assassins and he did graduate as a cook. So, School of Assassins, SOA, you could learn a lot about it.
What's the school? What's the college called?
School. It's not a college. The college is Dakota Technical College.
Oh, Dakota Technical.
He trained at the School of Assassins.
And you found that out through your research, the School of Assassins stuff?
Yeah.
How do you find that something like that out? Like through Freedom of Information, or just?
Yeah, and then his dossier, he had they put out dossiers, and it's just canned. And then when I looked and I went and I learned that he was in Germany, and then I dug deeper and found out that he trained wherever the School of Assassins is. I mean, it's in my book. I mean, look, like I bought the exhibits. This is a image of George Floyd, autopsy images. I mean, it's very thorough. If anyone knows my work, I bought all his mug shots, bought them with my own money.
What do those run? What do they charge? What do they charge for stuff like that?
I don't know. I paid about $1,500 for
Wow.
the exhibits from the government. And there's more exhibits, but I don't know if they're still withheld. And
Interesting.
this is the screenshot of the hush money that I found. And then
That's the $5 million?
Yeah. George Floyd, when I did the additions, the math, he would need to be making $1.7 million to justify that amount. And when I did the back pay for his kid, it was $46,000. So
yeah, I mean, usually guys using
before he's like, oh, here's some money. We're the only daughter that we're gonna is Pink Floyd. And they had this whole theme of twins, right? Steven Jackson.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to get, when I called
the basketball player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They because this was also on another level, a cornerstone ritual by the Masons. And I have a whole chapter on the Masonic. I've bolded 254 instances of 33 in this story. And,
interesting. So you think there was a Masonic element to the George Floyd stuff?
Yeah. The Santa
exactly?
Maria building.
Yeah.
Was a IOFF. I can read you something rather than.
Yeah, please. Absolutely. Dylan Farnham says, Danny, I never want you to give me or Jared any shit for our calls ever again. I don't know what that's in reference
to. All right. If I may do, this is chapter 29, blood. I'm going to do my British accent. Blood, debts, and human sacrifice. Initially, I thought George Floyd was all just lemony snickets, a series of unfortunate events, until I pondered the gaping holes, fantastically odd coincidences, my incredulous discoveries, and the extensive, consistent efforts to smudge out certain facts. What was really happening behind the scenes? The media and the government told us to believe our eyes, but as I've clearly outlined, there was way more going on. I found investigating this case a lot like peeling an onion or opening a Russian doll, only to find another doll nested inside, another layer revealed, one hidden agenda behind another, creating this juicy, multi-layered psyop. My research inadvertently led me to Freemason symbology, as it is littered in the event. When I first heard of these references, I rolled my eyes in skepticism. But as I started seeing the signs on my own, I concluded it served like a signature of sorts, akin to them writing, "We were here," on a bathroom stall with a Sharpie. So I go into, for instance, they said that the riots started on 33rd Street, but they started on 38th Street. As a journalist, I've even had my pieces, like I wrote one article a long time ago, and they changed my age and said I was 33. So George had the double eagle on his chest. The building was an IOF building, which is a sister to the, what is it called? The Oddfellows. And he lived, there was Squad 320, Squad 330. George had 33. He lived, the public housing was 3333 Alabama Street. And then there was all the twin themes, like it erupted during Gemini, twin cities, twin brothers, twin autopsies. So there's all of these subtle.
What was the twin autopsy?
Well, the autopsy.
They do it twice?
They rolled out Michael Baden, right? The Hollywood forensic medical examiner, right? Who never even looked at the body. And he had a black sidekick, because this was also used to get more jabs into the arms of the number one vaccine hesitant community, Black people, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look, government cares about systemic racism. Maybe this jib jab is okay. We had Fauci going fucking door to door to get Black people to inject themselves. So on another level, I found BLM. I found an NIH, it's also referenced, NIH paper looking to BLM to get confidence from the Black community. And they definitely use this to amp up jabs. And we went from virus to violence. Let's not forget, I can't breathe, right? In conjunction with busting out our face diapers. Because when I wear a face diaper for 10 fucking seconds, what comes to my mind? I can't breathe.
Yeah.
And
I even saw some merch at the time. People had masks that say, I can't breathe on the mask.
Right. And they also honored the 846, which is the same time of the North Tower was hit. But 846 is bullshit. It wasn't 846. And then they just, so it's like, it's just a little detail, right? There was people also wearing face diapers with 846. There were people laying on the ground for 8 minutes and 46 seconds on the dirty cement with their face diapers to commemorate. And then, of course, we had all this white fragility, right? All these people who are shamed, white people that are shamed. Sure. And I also have, there's characteristics in a PSYOP. So I have 6 ways to detect a false flag, the anatomy of a psychological operation. And I get into Tavistock.
That's the gender clinic thing?
No. Well, Tavistock is known as the lie factory. And it's about incrementalism and the long game. So over many decades, many decades, they've been everything, both sides, like Woodstock, the Beatles, it's all Tavistock. So the Daily Mail is the publication that dropped the footage. If you remember, the body-worn footage came out in August, right? Because in these psychological operations, always new evidence, dribble. And so when I look to see who put this, how did they get this? And I asked my hunch, because I use a lot my intuition, that the Daily Mail was integral in the beginnings of Tavistock. Lloyd Floyd was part of the man who created the Daily Mail. Anyway,
his name was Floyd?
No, Lloyd George. Sorry, Lloyd George.
I was going to say that would be too much even for me.
But even Lloyd.
Lloyd sounds like Floyd.
So the Daily Mail is specific to leak this information. Now, by the grace of God, I was in Costa Rica, and I said, I'm going to reach out to the journalist that got this footage from the Daily Mail. Oh, look at that. It's a editor that when I was back in the Matrix, when I first started my career, I used to leak vapid Hollywood information to In Touch magazine, and he was the editor there. So I called him, and he said he's Brit. And I didn't say I was a conservative, but I did mention the BRICS and George Soros. And he's like, what is it about you conservatives and George Soros? He's a businessman. I don't care what he does. And even though I gave him a lot of this was still in August. Never
Mm-hmm.
heard from him again. So I also got to interview the boy that took the 20, Chris Martin. I get calls from jail. So I get calls from Maurice. He called me Saturday. Maurice was with George Floyd. Nobody gives a
Why is he
fuck
in
about
jail?
his Black life.
Why is
Why?
he? What
Because
did he
he's a
do?
loose end. And the day after, he did a 2-hour exclusive, which is somehow still on YouTube on my second channel. People can go see it. 2-hour interview with the man that was with George Floyd. They trudged up all a pimping charge from 2018, and they gave him 15 years.
What?
Yeah.
Man, they'll stop at nothing. All right, let's take another call here. We got Patrick.
Oh, yes, Patrick. Hi, Patrick.
I don't know if you know Patrick. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Patrick, are you there?
Hello.
Hey,
Yes,
what's up?
I am.
You're on Low Value Mail.
Not much. Yeah, I had a
Of course, a
question
Patrick
for
calls me.
Miriam.
Go ahead.
What are your thoughts on Zog?
On Zog?
Zionist occupied government?
I am not covering the news, and I'm definitely not falling in the trap of bashing Jews.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, dude. I am resigned as a journalist. I can just tell you the real agenda is transhumanism. And that's a trap.
Yeah, interesting. Anything else there,
Okay.
Patrick? Anything else there, Patrick?
That was it.
That was it. All right, thanks,
Nope.
Patrick.
Yep.
All right, Patrick. Thoughts on
Yes,
Zog?
Patrick. Good old Patrick.
Let's go to Alan. We got Alan on the line here, and the phone lines are open. Everybody, 1-888-949-2969. Alan, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
What's up, Alan?
Do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're on.
Wow, I'm a first-time caller. First-time caller to Low Value Mail.
Excellent. Love to hear
I am really okay. I'm a nurse, and
I'm a
I
nurse
felt
too.
dirty when I used to do community health nurse. I started for about 6 to 8 weeks, and the amount of money grabbing that was going on with COVID-19 infusions, I felt dirty. And I called the contractor that I used to work for, and I said, "Give me anything, get me off of this place. It was a bad idea to get this job." And all the things that I saw right from the get-go, social distancing, 2 weeks to slow the spread, all that bullshit that they pushed on us, I was pretty skeptical, but I was like, okay, it's science. And then all of a sudden you find out that it was all bullshit, the whole thing. And that the media and the government, like across the planet, was in on it. And now that Fauci's got a pardon, he can't be prosecuted. What's the possibility that anybody is going to get busted for this? Like RFK is going to be releasing, like he's releasing in September, why kids are getting autistic. Like all the
Anyway,
thresholds
Fauci's
and
just
the problems.
Fauci's just a puppet. No, people have hoarded out their souls, and tons of people made money on the fucking bullshit PCR tests, the abracadabra, like case-demic tool. So a lot of people like
There was places I was in Omaha, and there was places that they had these machines for testing, and they literally ran for 9 months, and they weren't accurate at all. They had machines that were positive and machines that were negative, and they just booted them out.
Yep.
And I was giving infusions to people like 10 days after their diagnosis with COVID from whatever test that they had when they were in the hospital. And so, that money grab, and I understand Fauci, he is one of the puppets. The same thing with Congress. They're just the butt whores for the oligarchs. And so, but somebody needs to fucking go to prison. And
well, you know what? What if
the
only thing you take with you is your soul? There's tons of people that hoard out their souls. They'll come back into this circus and do it over and over and over and over and over again. I'm an ancient soul, and I didn't whore out my soul.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to prison there, Alan. I got bad news for you.
I
I
don't
don't think
so.
one person is going to go to prison.
But doesn't mean
Now,
that they
what
won't
do you
get their
think of-
reckoning. I would love to
Well, and
round
so-
these people up and jab them hundreds of times with the shit that they promoted. The PC, I mean, I remember being in San Francisco, which was a horrible place. When I returned from the jungle, they literally had chalk fucking circles in the park with people in them in their face diapers outside. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, they had that here in New York too.
And then
Domino
one guy, he's like, I sell PCR tests. I'm like, well, you know, that's a scam, right? And he goes, I know. And then he paused. He goes, but I'm making so much money.
Yeah.
Like you're nostril raping people and maybe bringing them to the demise if they go to the killing field and then put on run, death is near, and a ventilator. I did a big expose on the ventilators and how they really got started and why.
Yeah.
And I would invite.
So real quick, I'm an ICU nurse. Oh, I used to be an ICU nurse, and I had a CPR certification. I had never heard of anybody being on a ventilator for more than 2 weeks. They had like 99.9% chance of never getting off it. And now everybody's coming off 2-3 weeks. And I'm like, well, okay, hold on. That's going to fuck you up more than it's going to help you. And I had patients that were in rehab. Oh my God, their lungs sounded like sandpaper rubbing together, and they were fucked for all. And a lot of these people were smokers and stuff
Like that's the thing. Some
But,
people are forced to be put on the ventilator. I cannot even imagine. I interviewed. There was one girl that her mother was a conspiracy theorist, so she didn't know anything. She didn't know about the tents in the hospital, and she took a jab, and she started bleeding profusely, and went to the hospital. And
I had a patient that had that side effect. They couldn't clot anymore.
When they checked her in, she was her vaccine card. She was half jabbed. She was also British, and in the intake, the nurse, like, you could just, it's a micro expression, like, oh, you're vaccinated, because what she's really saying is, oh fuck, we have another one that we have to put over the rug and pretend, right? So then the next day she came back because she was still bleeding, and they nostril raped her. She didn't know about the nostril raping, and she was in a pop-up tent. And they brought her to a place where there was no other humans.
Nasal trumpet in her or something?
Yeah, the swabs, the nasal swabs.
I call them nostril rape because it's nostril rape.
The tests.
And
well, better than the Chinese ones. They would swab your butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they brought her to the back, and she was pretty ballistic. She really had a reaction from the plunge, and so they brought her quietly, and then they said, we gave you a sedative, and she goes, you didn't give me a sedative. I heard what you said. You gave me Haldor. They gave her an antipsychotic. She literally jumped out of the bed and ran out of the Glendale, California hospital. Like, the amount of horror stories that oh, they didn't let my sister out. She's dead now. Oh well. Horrible.
They tried to give your aunt Haldol by slipping.
They gave her Haldor. They didn't try.
Fuck, that's a fucking crime.
Yeah, that's
You got to tell people what you're giving them.
Yeah, you can't just give people shit. That's for sure.
That's you can do whatever you want now.
That's why I can't work in hospitals anymore.
Well, that's why I'm a preventative functional medicine coach, and that I look like this at 52 years old.
Yeah.
And I can
proof's
help
in the
others
pudding.
do that. Yeah. Well, like a Pierre Corey, like, hey, buddy, you need to lose 20. You're a fucking bullshitter. Pierre Corey, by the way, on the behalf of the Floyd family, took $15,000 June 6th before he became Mr. Ivermectin, man.
He took money from the Floyd family?
Yes, and he said that drugs had nothing to do with it. And he's besties with the head of the expert ventilation, mechanic ventilation guy. They're all part of it. He got sloshed the day before he got to the hearing, and he got a fake vaccine card. These people are fake and gay.
Fake and gay. Sounds like it. Anything else there, Alan?
Epstein.
Yeah,
Is
Epstein.
Anybody gonna what's happening with that? Like
nothing.
I thought the South Park episode was hilarious.
Nothing.
Like that Trump is playing the part of the guy from Iraq. And when he says "I love you" to Satan, like, you know, after Satan's worried about him being on the Epstein list, all I can think of is like, okay, he's not on the Epstein list, and he's probably thinking this episode is hilarious. But like, I don't think it's hilarious that nothing's being released. Like, you know, geez, okay, don't prosecute anybody. Well, let's fucking put Bill Gates' names, how many times and how many little girls were on the flights with him. You know, I mean,
go within people.
Guilt by association. That's what they're trying. Lawyers are going to fight against. But like, we need to know so that this doesn't happen again. If the CIA is into pedophilia, we need to expose that so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to. We're not getting anything.
No.
Not to be a doomer, but yeah, the CIA is not exactly.
Why is it a doomer? Why is it not being a realist?
Well, same thing.
And not following hopium. Like, come on, peoples, wake up. It's all division. Like, we're the last of the Mohicans, people who are whatever, purebloods, and who didn't take this shot. Like, come on, doesn't everybody see that people are out to lunch? I'm clairaudient, and I could tell you.
What's that?
Clairaudient is I could pick up stuff in someone's voice. I can actually tell when someone's not vaccinated. I met someone on the beach yesterday, and I'm like, "You're not vaccinated, right?" He goes, "How do you know?" I'm like,
Grace?
"Yeah, I know. Brain's working."
Did the YouTube channel, did the stream just die?
Maybe.
I think YouTube doesn't like us.
Mendoza doesn't like
my
me.
son is 20.
I'm sorry, Danny.
And he's red pilled.
No, it's good.
Okay.
I think.
I'll pipe
Weird.
it down.
No, it's all good. It's my YouTube thing my channel just crashed, but then it's still going. So, all right, we're still going. We're good to go. We haven't done anything to upset them too much.
My 20-year-old son's red pilled, and he's going to be part of he's going to have 4 or 5 kids, I'm hoping.
Yeah, have him crank them out. Have
More
him crank
red
them out.
pill kids.
All right, Alan. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Later. That clairaudient thing, that's cool. How did you discover you could do that?
I pick up a lot of things. There's way more than 5 senses. I pick up a lot of information, and I use my hunches, and then I had a kundalini, and my psychic skills amped up. That's your innate divinity that the Christians turned into a snake and demonified. So they've made, the occultists have used sex when it's really your innate divinity. We have divinity inside of us, and it's very sad what we've done to the human species. And so, I think in what's coming in this transhumanist agenda, some of us will be relegated to the savage lands, like in Brave New World.
Yeah. Interesting. Let's take another call here. We got Drew on the line. We're going to wrap this up shortly. Thank you again for coming on, Maryam. This has been
Thank you.
Very enlightening,
you to Mark,
and entertaining. Thank you to Mark, of course, his last show. And we got Drew. Drew, unmute yourself. There we go. No, he did not. There we go. Drew, are you there? No, he muted himself, and then he unmuted himself somehow. Let's try this again. Maybe you can teach him how to use Zoom. Maryam, can he hire you for that? Because he is absolutely killing you right now, Drew. Oh, okay. Here we go. Drew, are you there?
I'm here.
Killing me, man. Let's
Is it
go.
working?
Yep.
Hi.
What's up? First of all, shout out Mark. Big up.
Shout out Mark. Lovely
Yeah, I
person,
got
Mark.
a few little quick questions. First of all, does this lady own a dog?
No, this lady doesn't own a dog.
Cat person?
I was bit by a dog at 13, and I've been doing canine therapy. I don't have a dog or a gun.
Oh,
I know someone that I would like to protect me that has guns, but
What's canine therapy?
oh, just basically reckoning with my trauma of being bit in the face.
Is it like a virgin therapy where you have to like touch a dog?
No, I just, even if a dog, I'm a cat. I'm a cat person. I have super nasal powers, so I don't really even like a dog smell. It's offensive to me. So just, allowing myself not to be, to like, I had a friend pick me up and he has a dog, and I allowed the dog to sit next to me and just made friends with him.
Oh, okay. And
Why do you ask about the dog?
He's just
Patrick again.
He's just a
Wow.
dog guy. No, this is Drew.
No, but it's
just a big dog
Patrick.
guy.
Yeah, Patrick's on the line too. Yeah, he's a dog guy.
Oh, is it Marion or Mariam?
Mariam.
Definitely Miriam. It's not Marianne.
Mariam. Okay, I have a
Miriam.
roommate with a similar name. She's in the hospital. You think she's still alive? Can you use your clairvoyancy to find out if she's still alive? I haven't called her in like 3 weeks.
She went to the
I
hospital?
don't do things on demand. Clairaudience is when you speak to someone and you hear them. And how long has it been?
So she'd have to be alive.
3 weeks. Why don't you just call the hospital?
I'm just lazy.
Just call. Get off the phone. You're calling into me.
Yeah. What do you mean you're lazy?
You're
You
calling
think
into the
someone
shit.
might
I
be
wanted a
dead?
Connor dog update.
Connor's doing great. No
What was
news.
wrong with her?
Oh. What was
She's
it?
old and she fell.
I don't know if she's still alive, dude.
Wow, damn. Well, my dog
there
is
you go.
my dog is
But
doing
I would
great.
like to know. I think you should call her right now.
Yeah, literally
Like,
get off the
people
phone
should
right
not
now.
take life is precious and not go to bed with bad, like negative feelings, like, and say sorry to someone and
Yeah.
forgiveness. Like
Mhm.
miracles can happen when you use your heart. There's a reason why they created a bioweapon to attack the heart. Let me tell you, folks, you can't raise your frequency without your heart. It's very purposeful. You cannot raise into the higher chakras. You'll stay low in fear and sex and just not being your best version of yourself. And you can't feel. It's one step towards the transhumanist agenda of being a fucking robot. Because if anyone's noticed, they've weaponized customer service, right?
Customer service?
Yeah.
What do you mean they've weaponized customer service?
Customer service is like, oh, I have to put 3 hours away on the side to call Wells Fargo.
Oh,
And
right.
they like to hire people that looks like, I'm very sensitive to frequencies, to sounds. And it's like, why do they all, why do you sound like you just like, let me sound.
Yeah.
So it makes me angry.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I
I just
actually spoke to one chick and I said, so were you sexually abused?
Whoa. Was she?
Yeah, exactly. She was a robot.
Oh.
Well, it doesn't seem like your vocal cords got developed. You seem stunted from a trauma. But she wasn't I think these people are robots.
It was AI.
And
I mean, I
really
just had a
actually
hellacious day. I took an Uber yesterday, and then for some reason I took an Uber and it was supposed to be $30, and then they just charged me $80 for some reason. And then I was trying to get it sorted out, and it was like a Kafka-esque experience trying to deal with just getting my $50
Uber is one
back.
of the worst AI bots.
Oh, you can only talk to a bot. The only way I sorted it out is
Fuck these bots.
I DM them on Twitter. That's a real life hack, by the way. If you have a customer service
Oh, I
issue,
know that hack.
DM
It
them on
doesn't-
Twitter, and they always just respond and they just fix it.
It doesn't work for me anymore. I'm on some crap list. But
yeah, you got the
the helium voices. Anyone out there can?
Yeah.
Why do you guys sound like that? It's not. It's on purpose because it's a horrible frequency that
Yeah.
makes you stab them in the eyes. Excuse me.
I'm gonna try that sexual abuse thing, and see if I can weed out the bots. See if I can find.
See if
them.
that works.
Yeah. Drew,
All right,
I gotta
one
let
last
you go.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so based on what I've heard, I just want to know, does she find George Floyd sexually attractive?
No, I actually didn't even wait for I got the porn to confirm that he had done porn, and I didn't even wait for the penetration because I had stupid guys asking me, does he have a big cock? And I'm like, I didn't really look.
He does.
So no, I'm not very
did.
sexually attracted to most people.
Yeah.
They have to have a heart. They have to be deep and not a shallow puddle. And
Tough to find those these days, huh?
hell yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks,
Hell
Drew. Let's go to Dylan here, and then we'll go to Patrick, and we'll wrap this bad boy up.
Yes.
Dylan, are you there?
Hello, Mr. Danny.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. I just wanted to say how this story really has affected me, the entire George Floyd scenario. As a black male, it's completely thrown my whole life into just chaos. No one believes anything that I say anymore as a black man. They don't believe anything I say anymore. Everyone says, "Oh, it's BLM stuff now."
Who are your friends, and why are you allowing other external forces to dictate your internal well-being?
Yeah. Are your other friends black?
Shit? Like, find new friends. They're not your real friends. What does that really mean? That George, are you a real caller?
Yeah, it's ruined my life.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, how's it ruining your life?
Well, like nobody, like the whole thing with George Floyd, like, you know, they started rioting and killing people, and then like.
What do you mean killing people?
It just the riots. Then now everybody thinks I'm a violent animal. They keep saying 1350 to me, and
I don't
sorry
know.
if I sound shaky.
I don't know if this is a real call. It doesn't.
I don't know.
Pretty ridiculous. Why are you saying 1350?
Is that like
maybe
I'm saying people say that to me. It's offensive.
All right. Thanks, Dylan.
Okay, bye. Bye, buddy.
Bye, Dylan. All right, let's take our final call of the evening. It's Patrick again.
Again.
Thanks, Dylan.
Yes, Patrick.
Patrick is back. Patrick has something to add.
Patrick is back.
Hello.
Patrick, how's it going?
I am back. Good. Yeah, Miriam.
Yes, sir.
So you said you got like blacklisted from Venmo, PayPal, all of these different like financial apps and all that.
Yes.
Was that from the your journalism in this subject?
It's for standing up
Or
for
like,
your
how
medical
did that
freedom rights.
start?
You're welcome. It's for standing up for your medical freedom rights and actually knowing a thing or two about health. Because again, all of these conservatives that are now selling supplements, and where were they? I was a disruptor and an early adopter. I was literally one of the first to sell CBD in 2016 online. I started selling methylene blue 3 years ago. So yeah, it's again, I said transhumanism plus medical freedom plus George Floyd equals no bueno for the B lady.
Yeah, no bueno for the B lady. Stuff
So
out there for B ladies.
It was before the George Floyd stuff?
I don't know, sweetheart. I'm banned everywhere. Please buy my book, Patrick.
Yeah. Patrick, buy the book, Patrick.
Buy the book.
Okay, my last question is, so if you're banned and basically blacklisted at all these different places, why won't you talk about the Jewish question?
Because it's not my fight, dude, and it's a trap, and I'm not interested. It's such an age-old. Why is it a trap? Why is it a trap if you're already blacklisted?
Maybe she's not interested in it.
That seems like an odd. I'm not interested in that. I'm
not everybody. You know, people
have.
have.
You an anti-Semite.
Sounds like you're afraid.
People have different hobbies, Patrick.
I'm afraid. I have more balls than you, dude. Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick. People have different hobbies, Patrick.
I'm afraid. No, I'm
okay,
smart.
Danny.
It's not my fight.
It sounds like you're afraid.
Okay, you're bye.
You
You're
won't
welcome
answer.
to believe whatever you want. I will
Bye,
say,
Patrick.
I will say that if I do research, I'm very thorough. I'm not going to do a half-assed job.
Yeah.
The Jew thing is an age-old thing. It's a trap to call you an anti-Semite. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not my fight. I did this. I was assigned to write this by the Cosmos. I'm a journalist, and I'm not covering the fake and gay news anymore.
Sure.
And so
fair enough.
And
all right.
If I'm blackballed, why am I going to double down? I don't know enough to speak on the event. So it sounds like he wants to trap me.
It does sound like that's what he wants.
Yeah,
it sounds like he wants to trap you. All right. Well, that's been our show. Thank you again for coming on. Where can people find you? What's the best place to find your book? Your website?
I will say MaryamHenein.com.
Yep.
You can email me if you didn't get that. It's MARY.
I'll put it below. I'll put your website below.
At honeycolony.com. You
Yep.
can check out my show on Fridays, 3:00 live. Truth Lives Here. And you can buzz on over to honeycolony.com if you want to get some of our amazing silver and use BLady15. And I think that's it.
And check out the book. Check out
This
the
is on
movie.
Amazon, although I just rather people get it from
Yeah,
me.
get it from the website. Don't give Amazon a cut. No need to.
And I'm not on Amazon, but they allowed me to post
Sell
the
it.
book.
Yeah.
And
But
then this is also on MaryamHenein.com. So if anyone has a problem, Maryam at honeycolony.com, MARYAM. And thank you, Danny. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Thank you again for coming
I'm very
on.
grateful.
Fantastic. Miriam, everybody. Have a good one. All right. Maryam Henein, everyone. I'm just going to quickly give away. That was a fun one. Wasn't it? I'm going to give away a Low Value Mail 6-month Patreon membership. Let me just pull this up. We're going to spin the wheel. That was interesting. Mark's asking me if there was a shooting nearby in New York City. If I covered that, I just heard about it. There was a mass shooting at a skyscraper, Park Avenue and 52nd Street. No idea. Didn't cover it. Shootings happen. It's America after all. All right, let's give away a membership. And if you already have one, I can extend yours, or you can give it to somebody else. It's up to you. And the winner is Drunk Banana, who I think is a first timer. So Drunk Banana, if you won, hit me up, message me wherever you can, and I will get you your 6-month Patreon.com membership. If you want to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/lowvaluemail, MAIL, $5 a month. Otherwise, we got a new episode of The Bathhouse tomorrow night. Check that out. That's it. What a wild ride it's been, huh? Wild ride. And shout out to Mark. Last show, answering the phones. Guys, give it up for Mark. Done a fantastic job booking all sorts of colorful guests. Boy, are they colorful. Every color, if you will. That's been the show, everybody. Have a lovely rest of your week. Come peep the Bathhouse tomorrow night, 9 p.m., live from the Stand Comedy Club Green Room. And that's it. That's all of it. It's the whole thing. Good night.
I'm really a poet, you know it, all my shit heroic. Empathic abilities, yeah, my face be also stoic. Bleep, blow up, nigga, that just means I'm working. They see me as a leader, so that's why I'm Captain Kirkin. These tracks from the stars, that much is for certain. You can fit this hit if you up or if you hurtin'. I'm raising my stock, not talking my feet in some Birkin. Number Johnny 5, got a fucking short circuit. Bring the track to life when I spit phenomenal. When I hit, she feel that shit in her abdominals. These rappers make me laugh like comic view, they comical. You know I got a ball out, I hit the track running just like Sonic do. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. They was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. And they tried to down me on some KO type shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. Now we pulling up fresh on some flight shit. Ha. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. They was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. Then they tried to down me on some KO type shit. Yeah. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah. Now I'm pulling up fresh on some flight shit. Ha.